What's happening, guys? John here, SDIRA Live, where we talk passive wealth. How many of you have gotten an email that promises easy money? Work at home, don't do much, but make a ton of money. Wouldn't it be nice if we could all not do anything, not work, but make money, make enough to live, to sustain our lifestyles? Well, you can. And the smart investors out there are doing it. What is passive wealth? What is passive income? What is a passive investment? What's the best money out there? Well, it's money that works for you, where you don't have to do anything. That's the best money out there. That's what passive wealth is. That's what this show is all about. Building wealth, putting your money to work, where you don't have to do anything. How many of you want to travel or sit on a beach all day and not work, but still have income, still be able to pay your bills, still be able to sustain that lifestyle that you've grown to love? Well, you can do it. Everybody can do it. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter where you're from. Doesn't matter how much money you have if you're just getting started in investing. Passive wealth is available to everybody. You just need to know what it is and how to do it. Passive wealth is simple. And it's no different than waking up in the morning and having your cup of coffee with your significant other. Husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. One of them walking out the door, going to work for the day. You say bye. 8 hours later, they come home. You guys have dinner. Open up a bottle of wine. Go to bed. Do it all over again tomorrow. Your significant other is off there working, bringing money in while you sit at home. That's passive income to you, right? Well, passive investment, passive wealth is putting your money to work in a similar fashion. You're waking up in the morning, you're having your cup of coffee, and then your money walks out the door. Goes to work. 8 hours later, comes home. You have dinner with your money. You have a bottle of wine with your money. You go to bed, you wake up, you do it all over again. You didn't manage that money. You didn't do anything with that money. It went out and it worked for you. That's passive wealth. That's passive income. Well, what is passive income? What kind of investment is passive? Well, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, those are passive, right? You can buy a stock today and you can sit on it for a year without doing anything. And a year later, you'll still own that stock unless that company goes out of business. That's passive. Now, one thing you need to be careful about is what happens if that stock drops significantly or that company goes out of business. Well, it's still passive. You don't have to do anything, but you're going to lose your money, and that's not going to work. That's not an investment anymore. That's a loss. So that's not truly a passive investment because you need to work at it. Otherwise, you could lose your money. Well, what's a truly passive investment then? It's real estate. Real estate is truly passive. Well, being a landlord, finding tenants, fixing things, that's not passive at all. That's a lot of work. And it is. But that's not passive real estate. There's a difference in real estate. There's a lot of different real estate investments that you can get into. Passive real estate is real estate where you don't do a single thing. Well, how do you buy real estate and not have to touch it, not have to do anything? Well, that's called self-directed real estate. That's a truly passive investment. One of the safest investments where you will get some of the highest returns without doing a single thing. Okay, all right. How does that work? How does self-directed real estate work? Well, you put a little money into it. You can call it a down payment. Because self-directed real estate, from any reputable self-directed real estate provider, already has non-recourse financing on that property. So $100,000 property may only cost you $15,000 to get into, which has a tenant in place, which has property management in place. So you're not finding tenants, you're not fixing things. You can't fix things, you can't find tenants because that's then considered a prohibited transaction by the IRS. So you have to have that property management in place. So what do? Well, you buy the property, the deed's in your name, and you get your monthly statements every month showing your cash flow. And you're paying down the principal on this real estate that you now own in your portfolio. You don't do anything. The most work you do is reviewing your statements and preparing your taxes at the end of the year. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a truly passive investment. That's passive money. That's passive wealth. If you want to not have to ever work again, but still bring in income every month, find out how much do you need to live? You need $10,000 a month to live? If so, a goal of yours should be to buy as many properties as it takes to pull in cash flow to give you that income, that $10,000 every month. Once you do that, you buy and you hold those. You receive that income every month. You pay off your properties. 20 years down the road, your properties are paid off. You're still pulling your cash flow. And you're living the dream. Why aren't more people talking about passive real estate? I don't get it. This should be the number one. If you want to invest, if you want to build a future, passive real estate by means of self-direction is what you want to do. How do you get started? Well, you need an IRA account. Well, where do you get an IRA account? Well, find a custodian. Don't know what a custodian is? Keep watching the show. We talk about them all the time. We have them as guests all the time. Go to SDIRA.org to the directory listings, and you will find a complete list of all the custodians out there. You can find one locally, or you can deal with one that's out of state. Doesn't need to be in your state. Once you have an IRA account, you need to find a real estate provider that provides self-directed real estate. Any of the good ones, they're going to have tenants in place on their property. They're going to have non-recourse financing in place. And they're going to walk you through the whole process and make it simple. And they're going to take care of you. There's good companies and there's bad companies out there, guys. Just like anything else, you need to be careful. Do your research. It's just like Santa. There's a good list and a bad list. If you guys want to know who the great companies are to deal with, get a hold of me. Email me, john@johnkopp.org. I will gladly send you a list of plenty of wonderful people and companies to start talking to. It doesn't take a lot of money to get into this, guys. Start now. And if you're young and you don't have a lot of money, it's okay. Start with one. You don't need to buy let's say you need 15 properties to make your $10,000 a month. Well, you don't need to do that right away. You don't need to start there. You can start with one. And then when you're able to, add a second, add a third. And then that cash flow that you're pulling in from these properties, you eventually it's gonna just And pretty soon you don't have to work anymore. You're living your dream. And you have passive income. So that's what passive income is. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. And everybody should have it. If you have any questions, get a hold of me. John@johncop.org. This is a little quick tip on passive income. Follow us at Facebook/SDIRA Live. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll talk again soon.